Shalom and welcome to our 23rd annual Feast of Weeks. This is part 66 of Preparing for Rulership.
What happens when you reject the words of Yahweh, like you're reading now? You can't benefit from them. What verse are we? Read.
Ye shall not tempt the Lord Yahweh your God, as ye tempted him in Massah. Ye shall diligently keep the commandments of the Lord Yahweh your God, and his testimonies, and his statutes, which he hath commanded thee.
This is all ethics. All of this is ethics. This is dealing with what's right and what's wrong. All of what you're reading right now is dealing with what's good and what's bad. If you forget Yahweh, that's bad. If you make Yahweh angry, that's bad. If you tempt Yahweh today like you tempted him in Massah, that's bad. And he will do something bad to you for being bad. So he's showing you that he loves you by teaching you what not to do to incur his anger. Now, if you don't believe what he says here, you can go ahead and tempt him. Then you can find out whether he will do something bad to you or not. Oh, glory. So, well, I didn't know some bad things have been happening to me, but I didn't know Yahweh then. Yeah, well, see, Yahweh said those that don't know will be beaten with a few stripes. And those that do know will be beaten with many stripes. So, see, you're going to get a whipping whether you know or don't know. If you know better, you're going to get a worse whipping. If you don't know, you're going to get a whipping anyway. After you get enough whipping, you'll find out, why am I getting beat so bad? What's this whipping about? Yahweh! He said, you've been bad. You've been a bad boy. You've been nasty. What verse are we? Read.
And thou shalt do that which is right and good.
See, that's ethics. There it is right there. Ethics deals with the good and the right from the wrong of a situation. So see what you're reading? Ethics. Read again.
And thou shalt do that which is right and good in the sight of the Lord Yahweh.
Why?
That it may be well with thee.
And what will happen?
And that thou mayest go in and possess the good land which the Lord Yahweh sware unto thy fathers.
Now, how would you like to possess a good land? America is a good land. You could possess America. But what must you do in order to possess America? Do that which is what? Good and right in the sight of Yahweh. Boy, that's simple. Why wouldn't they teach us this in school? Because the ones that are ruling in bad and wrong. The wicked are ruling the earth regardless of their color. Regardless of their color, the wicked are ruling the earth. I saw a picture of a young woman, a teenage woman in South America, that her own men, soldiers, ran her down because she wanted good in her country. I think it was Chile. And they set her afire with gasoline and threw the match on her. And I saw her in a hospital just because she wanted what was good. She didn't have a gun, she didn't have a rock or a brick. They ran her down in her own neighborhood and laughed showed her all burned, mouth and everything distorted. She's ruined, for life. Speak the same language she speaks. Believe in the same Catholic religion that she believes. But her own kind threw gasoline on her and set her afire and laughed. Then they passed out and became unconscious. They took these people they did that to way out in the country and dumped their bodies on the side of the road. When they dumped them on the side of the road, it brought them to consciousness. And they laid there, and the soldiers left, and they had to walk miles. And this one lived. The others all made it back to town, but this one lived. And all the witnesses that saw what happened are afraid to testify. And some of the immediate witnesses have disappeared. And their skin is darker than mine. As dark as ours. Is that good or bad? So the wicked are ruling. So when the wicked rule, they don't teach you what is good and what is right. Because what is right and what is good is against what they're doing. But this formula here, ethics teaches you, don't worry about man. Don't try to please man. Do what is right and what is good in the sight of Yahweh. And then he will cause you to possess. I know I'm standing on solid ground. I'm willing to try this. What about you? You willing to stand on God's word? Not everybody is. I'm willing to stand on the promises because I'm looking at the evidence. Before I had any fulfillment of the evidence, I believed it. So all that you see is the result of my faith. And then I didn't just sit around having faith. I went to work. And when I went to work, I wasn't surprised at the reaction I got. Because I read in the same book where that people, when I do the work of Yahweh and do what is right and good in his sight, that their people will give me hard looks and will say hard things against me. And that I would be persecuted and that my name would be cast out as evil among men. What? And that I would be hated for Yahweh's name's sake. See, I knew all of this when I took the job, but I took it anyway. He told me if I be faithful, that's the words. This book said, if I be faithful, he will reward me for it. And since my effort is to please Yahweh, do what is right and good in his sight, then my blessings are not coming from men who hate me. My help does not come from men who are jealous and envious of me. My success does not come from men who stand back to see if it's going to work or not. My help comes from Yahweh, source of my help. I'm standing on a solid foundation. And all who wake up to Yahweh and come and stand with me get a chance to see this and enjoy this from knowing in advance. What verse are we? Read.
To cast out all thine enemies from before thee, as the Lord Yahweh hath spoken. And when thy son asketh thee in time to come, saying, what mean the testimonies, and the statutes, and the judgments, which the Lord Yahweh our God hath commanded you?
A smart son to ask a question like that. Read.
Then thou shalt say unto thy son, We were Pharaoh's bondmen in Egypt, and the Lord Yahweh brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand. And the Lord Yahweh showed signs and wonders, great and sore, upon Egypt, upon Pharaoh, and upon all his household before our eyes.
Now that's what's happening now. Economy is bad. Industries are shutting down. From last Sunday in the Miami Herald, for several days, headlines, the economy is in trouble. Banks are failing. Hundreds of banks have failed already this year. Hundreds failed last year. Hundreds of savings and loans have failed. There's 1,500 banks on the trouble list that need to close now, have already failed. There's 1,500 savings and loan associations that have already failed, but the doors are open because the federal insurance is broke. FDIC and all the other insurance that backs up the banks. FSLIC is also broke. So if they shut them down, they got to pay the people up to $100,000. They don't have it. Now, with all this money that these politicians steal from us as taxes, why they don't have the money? Where is it? I mean, Reagan is hollering for $200 million to give to some Contras, somebody to fight against the people of Nicaragua. Huh? But doesn't have the money to pay the people that put their money in the bank. That means that somebody has stolen these people's money. I mean, you think about it. If you put $1,000 in the bank, if all of us put $1,000 in the bank, and when we go to the bank and can't get our $1,000, somebody did something to our money. Now, somebody ought to be in jail for that. But see, nobody's going to jail. And to keep everybody from going to jail, or to keep you, they're not going to put none of them in jail anyway, because they're all wicked together. You'll just be either out your money, or they keep the game going and keep the doors open and make you think everything's all right. But there's no money in the safe. And if you question them, they'll tell you. See, if you go in there to get $100,000 at once, no bank can give it to you. No, they don't have it. You know what has to happen? They have to go say, well, hold it, come back at 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock, we'll have a seat in the lobby, and a few hours later, there'll be several Brinks trucks come up from the Federal Reserve Bank. See, because the bank is broke. The savings and loan is broke. Y'all didn't know that, did you? How many already know that? That's the only way you're going to get that kind of money. They don't have it. You put it in there. You can go in today and put $100,000 in the bank and go back to get it tomorrow, and you got to wait. They don't have it.
Please turn to side 2.
The only thing that's keeping the banks open in America is that people are stupid and dead and blind to the reality that the banks are broke, so they got a false confidence. They got confidence. See, the door's open. But why does it take 21 days for your check to clear? When they have instantaneous electronic bank transfer of the games they play with each other around the world. Oh, it's instant, man. It doesn't take a minute. Tell me why you can't write out a money order for $1,000 without signing a whole bunch of forms that go to the federal government. Go try it. You got $20,000, it's your money, you saved all your life, put it in a suitcase and try to leave America with it. Oh, you didn't know that they will strip search you, take all your clothes off, and confiscate your money? Huh? Go on and try to take it out and say, well, I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna take $20,000 and go put it in a Swiss account. Go on and try it. The most recent law is you can't take more than $5,000 out. And in the North, they passed a law you can't take more than $1,000 out. Go up and try to take more than $1,000 into Canada. Come on and try it. Try it. You free. It's your money. You work for it. Take it and put it in your bag and say, white folks, I got $50,000. It's my money. I work for it. Here's my check stub. I'm walking out. No, you won't. $45,000 is staying here. Say, I'm never coming back. Say, well, you'll never get this 45 either. Oh, I can't lie to you. This is the law. You have lost your freedom. When you no longer can control the money that you work for, or save, or accumulate, you have no freedom. The only ones that have freedom in this country are lawyers and judges, and politicians and stuff. They're the ones that take all what you got. Now they can form a multinational corporation and transfer $200 million or $1 billion by computer right on over in euro dollars tomorrow morning when the telephones open up. 1 billion. Rockefeller can do it. Rockefeller can do it. And you need the knowledge of what's happening in the financial world, in the financial structure, and in the political arena in order to be protected. Without this knowledge, you're not protected. And you suffer from an illusion of freedom that doesn't really exist. And that is a fact. So the thing that has happened is ethics has not been taught to us in the institutions of America. So we've been without the knowledge of the goodness and the badness of reasoning, and we've been without the rightness and the wrongness of our reasoning abilities. And that has made us an open prey to whoever wants to take advantage of us. All right, we're going to finish this. Verse 22. Read.
And the Lord Yahweh showed signs and wonders, great and sore, upon Egypt, upon Pharaoh, and upon all his household, before our eyes.
Continue.
And he brought us out from thence, that he might bring us in, to give us the land which he sware unto our fathers.
Here we see the power of Yahweh able to take a people who are under the jurisdiction, authority, in bondage to someone else who has absolute power over their destiny. Yahweh is able to deliver us, as he is demonstrating through my work with a handful of you here in Miami. Yahweh is that divine source that though the government, both local and national, have come against me, but they are unable to do anything about me. Though I really used to talk mean. I talked so mean I had everybody afraid to come around me that had substance. You had to be brave to come anywhere near me. But I proved they were unable to do anything about it. I proved that. Now they're happy to have me talking easy. Build and accomplish. But I'm doing what no one else could do with us. Verse 23, he swore to do it. And Yahweh is not a man that he should lie. Verse 24, read.
And the Lord Yahweh commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear the Lord Yahweh our God, for our good always, that he might preserve us alive, as it is at this day.
It's not an accident that we're here. Notice, one of the definitions of ethics is expressed in this verse. For our good. That's an ethical proposition. And if our mentality is properly disposed toward this proposition, we'll receive the benefit and the reward of it. And it's our preservation to do good. Why is it that the schools, once again, why is it that the public institutions, the public schools, don't teach ethics, morality? It is so that you will not be able to do what is good. You won't be able to discern right from wrong, good from bad. That's what permissive society has brought about, destruction. Without ethics as a primary foundation subject in the schools, then we cannot be preserved as a people. And that means that when drugs are offered, we don't have the will or the mind or the knowledge of good from bad to resist. The only ones of our people today who are resisting drugs and alcoholism are those whose parents instill sound values of moral principles, ethical values, establishing integrity of mind. And those of us whose nature were predisposed toward this, or who accepted this, have the willpower to resist homosexuality, so we won't have AIDS. Someone can lay their money down. Those of us who accepted moral teachings and ethical teachings and the principles and who follow the system and the order of ethics will not take what belongs to someone else. But those without the knowledge of ethics, or those who don't receive ethics or morality, will justify taking something from someone else. So that which is essential to our character, our moral character, is not allowed to be taught in this country. So then you have a group of corrupted students ruling the schools, and they need a gun in the hallway to have a semblance, not true peace, just the appearance of order. It's all out of order. Even with police officers walking the halls, it's still chaos. Yet I'm producing students. It's 11 o'clock. And you see discipline. You see order. You see bright faces listening to wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh, who love knowledge, who are excited. They're over there taking notes. Can you believe children this young are taking notes all evening? Some of us are adults out here without taking notes. Some of us don't have pen and pencil in hand. You're trying to pretend you have eidetic memories. You're only going to leave here with an impression. Your ability to recall what actually took place here is going to be dismally slim. But they are taking notes and have been doing so all night. How many of y'all have notes? Good gracious. Can you believe that? There's no teacher, there's no one standing over them saying, you must take notes. Here's a rod, here's a stick. Well, isn't that incredible to see? And they have smiles on their faces at 11 o'clock at night. Can you imagine what the public school sector children would be doing if they were in here?
This concludes Part 66 of Preparing for Rulership.